During this week's video, we replaced these beat up factory taillights with some new LED taillights. Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna work on our 93 Jeep Grand Cherokee today. We have a little surprise to address this situation here in the rear. It's the sun! It's been raining for 3 days, and this is the first sign of sun. And we have a wrapped Jeep, not this one, our off-road Jeep. And we have a little surprise from Nilight that we're gonna be throwing on the old wheeler here. What's in your box, sir? What do you have in there? You got 6-inch oval taillights with a bracket. This is what I'm thinking. We got the old taillight off, busted one, and I'm thinking about putting the bracket in here, sort of like this, utilizing the bracket that comes with it and covering up the wires that come off the factory. So the bracket would sit in here like this. So I need to build 2 more brackets down here, a little bracket there, and a little bracket up here, and then put some riv nuts in this area. There, mark it, riv nuts and a riv nut. I think we should wire these up first because we have 4 wires coming off of the Nilight and about 17 wires coming off the factory harness. So we better see about wiring this and making sure this Nilight will actually work before we get too crazy on mounting this light on this beater Jeep. We did a little hack job. We hacked off the original light sockets and we did a little wiring job. Let me show you what we got. Wow, that's hard for you guys to read. Looks really good for me. But anyways, focus. It's focusing. The taillights are blue and the pink wire is brake. The turn is tan. The backup wire is brown with a green tracer. So we mounted the Nilight on the factory mount for now, just to mount it up there to do some wiring. The wires, just put all the blacks to the black and put the white to the brown green tracer for the reverse. 2 blues. 1 blue is for the main tail light on the factory. And the reason that there's 2 blues is because there's a little side marker light too, and that is also a blue wire. Then we have the red wire from Nilight is the brake, which we have plugged into nothing, but it will go to the pink and maybe the tan for turn. But this Jeep has a bigger issue. It doesn't have brake lights. I forgot it didn't have brake lights. I knew the turn signals on here didn't work, but I didn't know the brake lights didn't work. So let me show you what we got so far, and then we will have to get the Jeep in the garage because I am losing daylight. And we need to do some investigation for a brake light because that would be ideal out in the woods so people could see us braking. Not physically braking, but brake lights. We got marker lights in the front. Let me show you in the rear. And then little driver. Those are looking pretty good. And there's the factory taillight and the Nilight taillight. Looking pretty good. So if we turn the key forward, oh, hold up, I gotta get in there, little guy. So we got the Jeep in reverse. We got reverse lights. Those are looking pretty good. So we got reverse and we got running lights. Feeling pretty confident that we can make these Nilights work. Either way, we might not have brake lights, but we'll have to figure out if it's a brake switch or hopefully just a fuse. To the garage. After pulling the Jeep in the garage, we checked the fuses on the fuse panel inside the cab, and they were all good. So now we went underneath the Jeep and we checked the brake switch, and we pulled the brake switch, and we're gonna go order one from O'Reilly's. Got a hot tip alert for you. Cleaning up these brackets a little bit on the grinder, the wire wheel, the bench grinder, and get yourself a pair of thick gloves. Usually I just use a pliers, but then, you know, the bracket and the wheel just ding, goes flying somewhere. So I put these thick gloves on and bam, that's the way to do it right there. It's a new day, new challenges. We made these brackets last night. Look at that one. How did not get centered? You guys saw I marked these and even hole punched them. It's still off. Am I gonna redo this? No. Remember what we're working on here. So we got the brackets built for our brackets, the Nilight taillights. So we're gonna have to find a spot where we can put those rib nuts in the body so we can mount those taillights. Another issue, or I like to call a challenge, we went to O'Reilly's. So if you have a 94 Jeep, because it's different than a 93, right here is your part number you want. And here is the part. 93 is different, by the way. I thought this pile was a 93. No, it's a 94. Jeep, just everyone else's parts. So 1 year makes a big difference in the model, because the one they ordered for me is completely different than this one. But you guys see the challenge I have now. This one's way out, the new one from the box. This guy, much shorter. So I'm gonna tear this one apart to see if it is adjustable, because I don't know nothing about this. A smart guy would go on YouTube, and I'm sure there's someone already struggling with this, but time is against me. We need to go wheeling, and I only have a couple hours of work on this before we go wheeling tomorrow. Let me figure this out. Bad news, you cannot take this switch apart. So don't do that. It's not adjustable. And I can't reuse this because, well, I guess technically I don't know if it's bad. Let me show you what I figured out. This switch, it was sticking way out. So I thought, I'll just throw it in there, see what happens. And it was way too long, and I just threw it in there anyways, and it self-adjusted. And now we have brakes. But here's where the story got interesting. I didn't have brakes right away. I put the new switch in, and still no brakes. Then I discovered this. When I came into the fuse box here, I noticed the 40 was slightly out, and that one is for your main fuse block, which is under here, and all these fuses are good in the cab. And guess who unplugged that 40 amp fuse? Yeah, that was me. We were running without doors when we did the half door conversion, so we didn't have any doors. I pulled, I'm assuming this because I don't remember it, but I must have pulled that 40 because you know why? When you have this door open, you have interior lights. So I'm assuming I just pulled that fuse to kill the lights, you know, because they're on when the door's open, right? And if you didn't have doors, those lights would be on all the time. 40 amp fuse, the fuse box in here, which runs the taillights. So cool thing, I fixed the taillights, got interior lights again, and we'd be rolling. The only thing is the hazards don't work. So I don't know what's going on here, if it's a switch, still don't have blinkers. So I'm just gonna hook this tan up to the brake. And eventually when I figure out why I don't have turn signals or hazards, I'm assuming it's a relay or the switch in the column, but I don't need blinkers when I'm out in the woods. I was just really concerned about having taillights and brake lights because tomorrow should be pretty busy. There's gonna be a lot of rigs. The weather is amazing right now. The event we are going to is called Toys for Tots. So it's a toy is your entry fee, and all the toys go to the local children around the area that don't get toys during Christmas. Pretty sweet event, so I'm pretty excited to go. I've been going there since, you know, I was knee-high to a grasshopper, or knee-high to 37. Let's see what we got to do to mount these lights. Well, we popped the light out of the bracket, and we put our brackets on the Nilight bracket. Now we can put it up in place and it'll be easier for us to mark the holes to where we need to mount this. Drill some holes, put the nut inserts in, wire it up. We have LED lights. Well, we got the lights mounted. It's pretty cool. We were able to use the factory bolts that were in the original taillight M6s for the rib nuts. So all the hardware provided, the 2 bolts out of the 3 from the factory Jeep, and a rib nut tool. You can mount these lights with no hardware needed. We use those solder connections to connect the wires to the Nilight taillight. And those things work pretty well if you know what you're doing. You actually have to slide the connector all the way through and then roll the wires together, slide it back up, and then solder it. I always had a struggle with those solder connections until I found out that little tidbit. The location on the lights, meh, it's good enough. Ideally, I would like it up a little bit higher, but the wiring that came through, is about right in that area right there. It came through about right here. So I didn't want it up too high because then you would see those wires would be exposed. But I'm really not feeling, I like it, but I don't love it where they're sitting now. Ideally, I would like them up a little bit higher. So in the future, those lights will probably get moved up because we do plan on stretching the rear axle when we get the long arm kit on the rear of this. The rest of this is pretty rotten. If you're new to the channel, you probably don't know this, but mice like to live in that area. And it's pretty much rotted out with the floor and this rear fender. So when we stretch the Jeep, we'll delete all that by cutting it out. So let me show you what these taillights look like. Okay, we have taillights. We have brake lights. We have reverse lights, and we have hazards. And they're hot. Well, that's a wrap on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick install of putting these LED lights on your Jeep Grand Cherokee. And if yours is a beat up woods unit like this guy, I think this is the perfect upgrade because I think naturally we will miss a lot of obstacles out in the woods and maybe save a taillight or 2 by going to these slim trailer taillights. Like I said earlier, I do have future plans on kind of cleaning up this whole rear of this Jeep. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, and come back for some more content if you guys like these Jeep mods that we do on our Jeeps. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.
Oh, why's my face so dirty?